Hello ladies and gentlemen, Mike here from Like Designs, bringing you a quick tutorial, very simple tutorial actually, and it's how to get a simple image, any regular old image. Preferably you must have a sky if you want to make this type of image, and the clouds just add to the effect. But if you want to get an image like this, such a beautiful place, and I think we could all agree, into something like this. Yes, I know it looks awesome. You could add planets into the image, random lighting, which this is a supernova, or a or a nebula that came with this planet and this other planet here. You can also add a star field in the back, or a very small supernova up in the left-hand corner up here. Also, two comets. Just anything that has to do with the universe, anything in astronomy, any object in space, and very vaguely there's a small moon right here. Also, there will be some HDR toning in this video. I've made a video of HDR toning before, but in this video I'll do it slightly different. So let's go ahead and close out of this, and let's open up Photoshop. So once you have Photoshop open, you must have your image. So let's go ahead and grab the image here. It's down here. Okay, so here we go. Found it. So once you have it in Photoshop, once you have it in Photoshop, first thing you want to do is unlock the layer. So you must unlock the layer in order to do any sort of adjustments to it. Next thing you want to do is select your layer and hit Ctrl J to make a duplicate of the layer. Okay. So on the top layer, you're going to want to make it a smart object. So you right click on it and convert to smart object. And that allows you to do a few more things on it. So once you convert it to smart object and you have it selected, you want to go down here, click on it, and select curves. And then you want to drag this black a little bit in, about right there, or you could just copy my input, and then you want to grab the white and drag it in a bit. Not too much with the white. So already you get this. You notice the difference. There's a much better color to it. Okay. So now you want to select the original image and once again copy it, or you can just do it to the original image. Select the original image. Go up to go up to Filter, Other, and High Pass. Doing a high pass, basically, hold on, actually, it's better if you do a copy. If you do a copy, place it up here, or up there. Okay. So you go up to Filter, Other, High Pass, and here's what you get. Basically, what a high pass is, it's like sharpen, but you have more say in how sharp you want it to be. Don't place it all the way up here. That's stupid. That's basically like having the image itself with less color quality. So have it at around 1.6, 1.5. Okay. And once you get to this point, you want to go to once again, you must have the layer clicked and scroll up to overlay. So once you have overlay, this is what you got. Now here's the difference. As you can see, there's a small sharpness to it, which really adds on to the image. So now we're going to start actually adding into the pictures with planets and so on. First thing you want to do is add the star field, which once again I must find. Alright, so here we go. We have a star field here. It wasn't the original star field that I wanted to show you guys because I can't find it. I have no idea where I placed it. So we're going to take the star field and drag it into Adobe Photoshop. And here we go. Actually, this star field would actually make the image look better than the old star field. This actually looks like it'd be more sci-fi-ish, even though this is obviously real shit. So we want to place it in a regular place. Now you can do a few things. You can either screen it and do this, which is highly recommended because it blends it in with the image a lot better. Or you can leave it at normal and get something like this and have a completely black sky. I do not recommend that. So we're gonna leave it like this. Now what we're gonna do now is do some blending. So you want to take the eraser tool, rasterize the layer. Now we're gonna want to get the eraser tool and make it a bit bigger. And then once you do that, you want to start erasing the image in places that it's not at the sky, if you know what I mean. So you want to erase the image here, 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 just anywhere where it's not sky. And for more detailed blending, you are gonna have to zoom in and hold on. Zoom in and get a smaller brush size to get rid of the star field that is within these clouds right here. Okay, so there we go. And if you don't like this star field, actually it doesn't matter if you don't like it because this won't be the star field that you'd have to use. You can use any other star field. You can download some on Google Images or whatever, anything you want. So now we're gonna want to add the planet. And the planet, once again, it could be anything you want. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. In this case, I have no idea where I put all my shit, so I am going to hop onto Google Chrome, go to google.com, go to images, type in planets, not plablets, planets, and we are going to make the image larger than 2 megapixels. That way we get a larger image, better quality planets, and so on. And we are going to find a planet here somewhere, a planet in which we like. So you basically keep looking, obviously, until you find a likable planet. This one actually looks pretty cool. Nice in detail. And also, if you can, and if you do have a choice, or if you don't want to, it's very recommended if you find a planet surrounded in darkness, surrounded in black. That way the screen effect would work a lot better and you would have to erase less if you find a planet like that. So here we go, we're going to drag the planet in, or the planets in, and we got yes, place a file. You do not want it that small, so we are gonna scale it up. We are gonna scale up the planet like so. Not too big. Oh, by the way, to scale up like that, it's very easy. All you have to do is click Control T, and by doing that, you start the scaling of the planet. Control T, and you can also rotate and so on. And to keep a perfect square or rectangle or sphere or whatever your image is, you hold shift and then hold down, click down to scale, and that way it'll keep its ratio. So we're gonna place that right here, and then once again you want to come down here and select the blending mode and place it on screen. And right now it doesn't look too blended in because there are, okay, let's zoom in a bit. There are stars around it and so on. But once again, we're going to take our eraser tool. Okay, we're going to rasterize it. Make it a bit bigger. And we are going to select the star field right down here. But it's very important that you rasterize the planet, or else you can't really do anything to it. So you right click and select rasterize layer, and since it's already rasterized, there's really no point. So you select star field and start erasing the stars on the planet like so. So now it looks a lot better blended in. Now you want to select the actual planet itself and start erasing from the image. Again, this process will vary depending on the actual image you got. Obviously, it'll be different depending on the image you got. So we want to zoom in and add and start erasing this. Very important that you erase that, or else it'll completely destroy the effect if you leave that on there. And the reason why I'm erasing all the way up here and not directly on the edge of the planet is because the brush mode is set to fade, which basically is like, if you play MMOs, it'd be like area of effect. And that's basically the best way I can put it. Now there was another moon on this planet that was off to the side and we couldn't show it. And if you want to show that, obviously you're gonna want to drag the planet in again, or beforehand, if you knew you wanted the moon, you could have just created a duplicate of the actual image to add it in afterwards. So now we got the moon here, and we're gonna have to rasterize the layer. So easy way of doing it is select something that requires rasterizing the layer, click on the image and click OK. Other than that, you could right click on the image like I showed you earlier, rasterize layer. So now we're going to start erasing around this planet. Small moon, actually. It'd be a moon, not a planet. Alright, so now we're going to place it wherever we want. And also, this is highly important. For example, notice how there is no lighting on this far side of the planet, simply because the sun or the planet's star is not shining on that part of the planet. It's not pointing directly at it. So it's very important that you place the bright side on corresponding to the planet, the bigger planet and the other moon, because then it'll destroy the effect if you have this planet tilted the other way with the dark side facing that way. It wouldn't look like a moon really. So we want to have the image selected, obviously, and select screen. And it's okay, so let's unscreen it, go to normal. If you have this around, like this black area, it doesn't really matter if you have that, as long as there's no rough edges, as long as it looks like it's blending in pretty fine. You'll be okay. So just screen it, and as you can see, it blends in just perfectly with no shadow of a doubt. So now we want to select the star field again, zoom in a bit, scroll over this way, and we want to select the eraser tool once again and make it a lot smaller this time. And we want to erase the star field from the actual planet, even on the far side, the far dark side, because it adds to effect. Now it actually looks like it's there, which is very cool, very cool. So now we got this. Also very, very, very important that you have your actual star field and everything under the curves to apply the effect much better. Because if you don't have that, then the coloration will be a lot different on that stuff. Another thing, you could also lower the opacity of the star field itself. That looks kind of ugly, but if you go right here, you can lower it, but you know, it looks a lot better if it's actually really, really shiny. So that's basically it. How you add planets. You can do the same thing if you want to add a cityscape in the background, like a huge futuristic city. You can do the same thing. Some things require complex, not really complex, but time-consuming masking, which basically involves, let me show you guys, getting real close to your image to where you can see the pixels just sticking out, and you select the masking tool right here and you start masking around the planet like so. But the problem with doing this is it will not look good at all, depending on depending on what you're doing. If you're doing planets and there's black around it, then there's really no point. Or just in general, any sort of planet with stars around it or anything, you can easily blend in without having to mask, like you saw here. And you know, it's not very difficult to do, as you obviously saw here. And also, you know, remember to do finishing touches. Make sure you do not have anything laying on your image. So you want to do thorough erasing, because you could have some leftover tiny marks that are going to be noticeable when you have it as your wallpaper or whatever. Other things you can do is add lens flares and so on, and all that stuff is easy. It just involves once again setting in on screen and do it using your eraser tool to blend in to the image much better. You can also add a star, a sun, so on. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please rate and